Hi all, welcome to this UEFA Marquee Matchups predictions video for the 5th of November. Apologies for this being up later than usual, just kind of been getting busy with everything and also watching how Thursday's Marquee Matchups played out. So if you could smash the links, would be awesome. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at @GIsALegend. All the links are down below for posting the channel and social media links as always. And comment down below what two games that you rate for the marquee matchups for the UEFA one on Tuesday, and also all the likelihoods are down in the description below, from 7 being our highest to 4 and 5 being respective lowest. So what we've decided to do is kind of build a squad as we did for the one a couple of weeks ago, and with basically all the players that you kind of could go for in terms of individual teams. But we're also going to highlight the importance this time of the UCL cards. Could we finally see a use of them in regards to the UCL marquee matchups? Could they actually be required? Because I feel if they are required, this is the time to do it, but then hopefully we actually get some really good packs in return. So in terms of the two games that I fancy this time, now last time I was spot on with Ajax versus Chelsea and Galatasaray versus Real Madrid, and I did say as my alternatives would be Man City, Atalanta, and Atletico Madrid versus Bayern Leverkusen. This time I still feel the same way. Manchester City versus Atalanta will be one option, and then I feel Atletico Madrid versus Bayern Leverkusen could easily be the second, despite how the current marquee matchups are just now. That is where it will become quite interesting to see how they decide to play it out. Now, the thing to factor in as well is Thursday's marquee matchups. If you've watched yesterday's predictions, you'll get an idea of where I'm going with this. That, like, the Bundesliga is most likely going to have a strong shout for Thursday. Now, the question is, do they go Inter Milan, Borussia, Dortmund, despite Inter Milan already featuring and Dortmund having a strong chance for Thursday with Bayern Munich? Or do they decide to go Bayern Leverkusen despite already featuring in the marquee matchups and going the Atletico Madrid way, despite Atletico Madrid and Bayern Leverkusen already in? So you may suddenly say to yourself, this could be quite naughty of them that they've got two teams that are already in. They decide to double include them. It wouldn't be the first time I think this has happened, if memory serves right, and it wouldn't be the last either. And especially since I have quite a theme of showing putting the same teams within. But Manchester City, Atalanta is the main one that you should go for. Then if I was to say for an alternative, you're looking at the likes of Genk, Liverpool, Lille, Valencia, and you would probably want to look at Inter Milan, Borussia, Dortmund. That would probably be my strong shout as well. You may go Brugge and PSG, but it's harder said than done. So from an Atalanta view, where do you want to go? In terms of players, you want to look at Gosens, Haterbuer. Kjaer's really good because he's 82 rated, he's non-rare, and he's fairly cheap. Like, he's not too bad for an 82. He's someone you can snipe quite readily on the game. I've seen quite a few folk list him for 400 and 600 coins, and I'm like, why are you listing him at that? Like, they just list him up for cheap. Like, the sensible, if you're wanting to be clever with the UCL marquee matchups for this week, Atalanta view might struggle for seeing profits go up because of the amount of the golds that they have might not necessarily give you like the profits. Like Man City, the sensible ones are like Foden, Bravo. They're the regular players that you will see commonly. Like Angelino, Zinchenko, they're the players that they're the main like four that you will see folk just target and hope that we'll put 20k in or 100k in these four players, and they're hoping that they will go up to 2, 3, 5, 8, 10k, whatever, because of the requirements. They will think, if they require like 2 Man City players and 2 Atalanta, or say 3 players. But the thing is, if you need 3, say for example 3 from both teams, the easy way around it is Atalanta has that many golds that you can work with that you don't need Man City. You can go Atalanta, so then it's counterproductive investing heavy on Man City because Atalanta is just as good. But folk will do different ways. It all comes down to the requirements as well. But with Atalanta, as I said, you've got Kjaer, Zapata, Haterbuer, Who else do you have that's quite good? Brain is not clicking today. Like Goossens, Castan, I've got his UCL card. I just got it. Him as well. So you've got quite a decent cluster to work with. Atletico, Bayern, Leverkusen. I've got Llorente. If they decide to go Atletico Madrid way, it would not be the first time I've seen them decide to throw a spanner in the works. But I've got Savic as well. I've got, in case they I can't see them obviously going the same two teams again. They're not going to do Ajax, Chelsea, Galatasaray, Real Madrid. We've just had it. But Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen. I've also would say I've got Aranguez's Bayer Leverkusen card as well. That's highly unlikely I need it, but it's untradeable. It depends on the ratings. If they do 281 rated squads, for example, then it gets interesting, because the 80 81s, then suddenly things will go up a little bit, and having those 82 83s, especially if they're untradeable, might actually suddenly develop a use in your club for the UCL cards like Savic. Like Savic in general is quite a smart buy, like whether it be his base or UCL depending on price. Same for like any of the Atletico Madrid players. You look at like Adan, Marcus Llorente, Correa, not really Partey, but if you can get them cheap then fair play. And obviously like Vitolo, then you would look at like Arias, Trippier as well, in case. I think I've got UCL Trippier as well, I might be wrong. I'd have to have a double check. But with Bayer Leverkusen, you've got Damari Bay, you've got the Bender brothers, you've got Ozcan, you've got Red Sauce. But be wary, Bayer Leverkusen players in general are quite up just now. They are quite inflated due to the Liga SBC and the marquee matchups, the normal marquee matchups. And if people think, oh, they may happen in the UCL marquee matchups, then the prices just go through the roof. So be wary of that. Then with Inter Milan, Borussia Dortmund, even though we've already had Inter Milan in the UCL marquee matchups, you would look at like Sensi, Barella, Gagliardini, Lautaro Martinez. Borussia Dortmund wise, you'd look at Piszczek, Zagadou, Hitz, Larson, Delaney at your highest for rating, Gotza, Weigl, Dahoud. And same for like, as long as you mix like UCL cards within maybe say the league or the teams, then it covers your back as well, because you don't know where they will go with the requirements. Because if they do, for talking sake, 3 of each, like Man City, we'll say Man City, Atalanta, 3 overall rating of like 81, and then you've got to factor in the it might not be like a league requirement, it might be, or it could be like 2 leagues or 3 leagues. It then just becomes a case of, right, how do you build a 3 league team around Atalanta, for example, or Man City? Sometimes it's quite straightforward. It's sometimes it can just be a little bit tricky, but we'll see how it plays out, of course. But hopefully we get a good idea. But obviously Thursday's marquee match predictions will play a part on what Tuesdays bring. So obviously you've only got 48 hours to do Tuesday's ones. In terms of what I think for packs, I've really done thought of the packs and also the costs. Cost wise, I think we're looking around 25k to do, with probably 25 and either a 20k pack or 2 types of 25k packs, so maybe a premium gold players and a rare gold pack. Group reward, you're probably looking, wouldn't surprise me if it was like a UCL free rare player pack or something, which would maybe be decent, because then you'd hope that one of the free players would be half decent. But we need a use for these UCL cards. What's annoying is that they're not like live items. They're not like, say, match, like if you play well on a match day, oh, for team of the match day free, here's who got an upgrade, like we do for team of the week. Then these cards would have had a use, then it would make it a little bit more interesting, because then they would have at least a more significant use. But we'll see how the UCL marquee matchup plays up. Of course, it's end of the day, it's extra packs, it just comes down to where you can make some money. But as I said, all the information as always is down in the description below, as always, for likelihoods. So get yourselves kind of doing your homework, see who you rate from the games, and obviously where you fancy for like individual players, and if you've got them and so forth, and if you feel that you can make some profits. So smash the likes always, folks. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at GZOid, and take it easy all. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.